and you're back with the RCGP World Series. Here we are in Southern California, beautiful sunshine still, the weather's still great. We've had one round of qualifying racing and David Ronnefalk took it just
12 laps of intense, super close racing, and down to a mistake on the last lap by David Ungaro. When does that ever happen? And almost a mistake by Ronnefalk on the last corner to lose again. But no, the Viking, as Lefty likes to call him, has won that one, has 1 point in the championship. His battle against Juan Carlos Canaspi second overall, and it is looking quite good for him to claim that second overall, and more importantly, for HP to soar up the team's championship.
Which is what it's all about. But don't take his word for it. Let's take a quick look for ourselves at qualifying race 1.
There's a 5, and they're ready to roll, and they're off, and it's a clean start, and it's a good start for Ungaro. For Ungaro's finally made a decent start, got the whole shot as well, but he's been turned around, and amazing, he only got overtaken by one car. Quad green off the track, and into the lead has gone. It is in fact going to be Ungaro's managed to scuffle the thing. It's McBride second, it's Ronnefalk third, it's Ogden fourth. Lutz from the back row is in 6th, Canastas in 5th, and he gained 6/10. But at this point now, time is really immaterial because they can see each other, and you can see Ronnefalk there trying to back the whole thing into the corner at the bottom of the steps, trying to get these brake and turn at the same time. There's a huge amount of time to be won at that section. They are right together as the HB and the Scuderia. Scampi Rossi up on 2 wheels there, but he got away with it. So the sketchy straight almost unbalanced on Ungaro as they go up the hill. And Ronnefalk comes right down again, and then, you look at it, and he's got it right behind him, and he's going to jump, how he didn't touch it. He's got some good brakes on that car, I can tell you. Now, this is not an indication that Ronnefalk is actually quicker in a lap than, it's going to go wrong, but no, it's not wrong, too wrong. He's going to catch back up again. Because it's going to take a little bit of an error by Ungaro, I think, to lose the lead, even though he lost half a second there. And the difference between these two drivers is one mistake about 5 laps ago, and it's gone. What's happened there? Goes up and over and rolls it to right and smashes off the track. So it is going to be Ronnefalk who remarkably is going to take this one. By the way, he's got 2 corners to go because Ungaro. Oh no, mistake on the just got it. No one wanted to win the one. Last lap, no one wanted to win that one. Well, as the drivers prepare and they've finished their end-of-season photo shoot, we're going to talk about the track, the fantastic Thunder Rally Raceway, and most importantly, the amazing gate start situation, which is going to be demonstrated by a lovely assistant. It's Matt McCallum. Matt, this is what happens. So basically, you lift up the gates, underneath that goes, that's supported. All the mechanics bring out a car. They put the car on there. You can choose where you're going to go. It's a clear slot. You choose that, and then, Matt, I believe you have an interesting fact.
Yeah, now you might be wondering why there's a couple of rocks around here.
Yes.
Like this, for example. Now what this is about, and Lee Martin told me this, that some of the chassis naturally curve up at the back. Now what happens is when they are released, some of them catch. So a lot of the mechanics you'll see placing a rock underneath the chassis of the car so it raises it up and doesn't catch. So perhaps there'll be some modifications to this next season, or maybe even some modifications to the chassis.
That is actually surprising. Matt, sorry, you told me how to interesting fact. That was interesting. Right, let's get ready to go. Mechanics away, and we're off! Hey! And of course you go round there, and the whole shot is there, and we still aren't quite sure. So the rest of the track, remember, it is all about the elevation. We are told there's 7 levels of elevation. Just want to look at a different bit of the track that we looked to yesterday. And it's a section here that looks deceptively easy. It's the downhill steps from the top corner. It's very muddy at the moment. It doesn't really look quite flat, but there's 3 or 4. This one particularly is very steep. And basically, it's coming off here. It's how you land on this second one. What's been happening is people are being back on the rear, getting too much rebound and flipping over and sliding down. Also, this bottom of the brake, get past the pole, it's very, very loose. So you'll see the cars they're trying to brake hard and turn at the same time. A number of different, one thing you don't want to do is they're over-rotating and facing the wrong way. Absolutely, the key bit of the track, I believe, is this section here and across here, because you can lose so much time if you get it wrong. Now, it's time for some interviews. Who do we have to talk to? I'm not sure. Who's he wrangling for me? Cole, you look confused.
I need to find Cody King as my marshal.
Cody's your marshal, a world champion marshal. Ah, amazing. What went wrong in that last heat, by the way?
No, not good. It was my fault, though. I hit the RCGP signs back there, and it really screwed me.
Oh, dear. So we're getting ready for this next. See, has Matt wrangled anyone for me? There's a limited amount of wrangling going on, that's for sure. Okay, so with that, what we'll do is we will, with the cars revving up, we will get ourselves, and we're going to go to the grid.
What? It just gets smoother and smoother as the season goes on. So on pole we will have Max Mort in position number 2, Patrick Hoffer. Position number 3, Joseph Quagrain. Evan Vale will be on position number 4, and Cole Ogden, we just heard from him, will be on position number 5. Filling up the last place on the front row will be Lee Martin. As we move to the second row of that gate start, we will have Juan Carlos Canas in 8th. Ryan Cavallari in 9th, Carl McBride, 10th, Ryan Lutz, 11th, Davide Ongaro, and the other David Runefalk, in position number 12 at the back of the grid. I somewhat left Nick high and dry there, and I don't think this will be the last I hear of it, but there are reasons, and the good news is the track's about to open, and we're about to get into qualifying race number 2.
Excellent news. Okay. As you say, every one a bit smoother. Do you know that was our 30th? Plus the finals. So, so we're getting good at this now. Okay, so we are ready for RCGP Heat 2. Gate start. All the people who finished at the front are now starting at the back, and vice versa. Just get me wires correct. Wound myself around James there by the looks of it. So Max Mort will get first choice of front row gate, then Patrick Hoffer. JQ will get the third choice, Evan Vale. Cole Ogden, after a bad run, will get the 5th choice. Lee Martin 6th, and then you've got Canas, Cavallari, McBride, Lutz, Ongaro and Ronefalk. So with the anticipation building. So, I'm glad you all enjoyed Keenan on the mic in the last half hour. Keenan will be back on the mic with me, I think, rather than only in the quarterfinals and the semi-finals of the championship. After this race, there is a sort of half-hour break while we have the semi-practice, and then we have the 2 quarterfinals, and then qualifying race 3 of RCGP. And then following that, somehow I've managed to lose my own time table. And then you have the qualifying race 4 after the semis. And following that, there is the RC2 last chance to qualify, the RC2A final, before the main final goes off at about 25 past 6 local time. So 6:30 local time is 4 in the morning, 4:30. No, sorry, 2:30 in the morning in the UK, 3:30 CET. Probably quite pleasantly in the mid-morning working period for our friends in Australia. As it'll be Monday morning, Monday lunchtime. So you've got JQ there on the left, Juan Carlos Canas, and it's Evan Vale, Max Mort, Cole Ogden, Lee Martin and Carl McBride, David Ronefalk, David Ongaro, Ryan Lutz, Ryan Cavallari, Patrick Hoffer, and that's not a racer, that's Mao. And now JQ's moaning at Mao, so that's pretty much par for the course, really. So a few seconds to go. So the front row is being put down. Cole Ogden will be the favourite coming out of this one because he's had the pace, just had a kind of a brain, we've got a brain fart, I think you'd probably say. Down goes Lutz. Ongaro and Ronafalk. So the Ronafalk, Ongaro and Lutz, who were the quickest in the last one, are sitting at the back. 15 seconds. Evelyn spins to 5. Mechanics out the way. They'll drop down. Let's see what happens. And they're off. And it's a lightning start, I think, from Lee Martin. Then gets tagged and loses the lightning start as they fly up and down past the whole shot question. And then it looks like one car's Canas who's taken the lead. It's Canas that's leading. Second, I think, is McBride. Just trying to see, is that actually... I'll just wait to come. I think my Ongaro's picked up second by looking. I'm just trying to see. He's wearing a slightly different body shield at the moment. And it is Canas from Ongaro. Yeah, Canas, Ongaro. Then it's Ogden. And then behind them, in fourth, now is Mort. So 1, 2 and 3 is Canas in the white car. The famous orange wing of Ongaro. So Ongaro's getting a much better time with these gate starts. And now he's going to settle around trying to get past one car's Canas. Ronafalk in 6th, by the way. So there's a lot of battling going on, but the battle for first is right here as to go around the pro line, a wall of death, and down the sketchy straight. Canas again, when he's got a bit of clear air, seems to have a bit more pace than when he's been in the pack. He seems to have a lot of problems scrappling in the pack as they come down the hill we were talking about in the pre-race, trying to brake and turn and hit the line all at the same time. There's only so much a car will grip, and then it slides in a certain way. Very, very quick over the whole shot hill there from Ongaro, but obviously you have to make a clean pass. You can't just pummel into the back of someone. Ronafalk down to 8th, so he's not showing too strongly at the moment in this race as we come around to complete lap 2, and there are 10 to go. So as it settles down, Ongaro does look like he's got the pace on Canas. It's just a case of when he can get past him. Now will he try and dive down the inside line and just make a... No, see Canas did that almost perfectly. He actually hit the line and kept the momentum. But then up this top level, up here on this point where Ongaro lost round 1, this is very much where he seems to have a slight advantage over Canas as they now fly up to the pole corner and they'll turn round up the infinity jump before they turn back onto the knobbly, difficult, sketchy quad, which apparently the drivers quite like, Lefty was saying, and then up and over the jump that covers the starting gates and they fly around again. Now, interestingly, Ogden is slightly gaining on the pair of them, but I kind of feel if Ongaro gets past Canas, he'll be gone. 4th place is McBride, 5th place is Lutz, 6th is Cavalieri, 7th is Ronafalk. But certainly Ogden now moving forward. And let's try and get the Ogden and Ongaro battle. Oh, a mistake by Canas, and they've gone from 1st to 3rd. So what happened there? So that was a half an inch. He just tagged by half an inch, and it all went wrong. But back at the front now, you're going to see that it is... Oh, what happened? Who rolled out the way there? That was that... Oh, dear, I think Ogden just rolled out of a great position. Luckily got his feet back down again, but he was running in right behind Ongaro, and he's now just trying up this. And he's done it again. He's done Canas twice in 2 corners. Let's have Ogden as our focus. 1 car back, the purple back of the car, yellow front, trying to make up for a relatively poor start to the day. But we have David Ongaro leading. 2nd is Ogden. So once again, Ongaro is trying to fend off an HB. It's a different HB that is the issue. So Ongaro looking a lot more happier with everything today than he was yesterday, and they came 2nd overall yesterday. It was kind of a weird kind of inherited 2nd by just being consistent. 3rd Canas, 4th, and Ogden there. He's got very, very... Oh, he's got very close to the pipe as well. He's certainly pushing hard, Ogden. And we are 5 out of 12. So just coming at halfway now, not being left by Ongaro, but he actually lost. You could see him visually losing time as he came out the back of the corner there at the bottom of the whole shot drop. So just lost a bit of time. Now needs to gain it back again. It was a TQ yesterday in round 7, winning 2 of the rounds. So the pace is there for the American. Canas not being dropped. Just slightly stretching out that time. Ogden has the fastest lap in this one, a 33.8. But that time round he lost 3 tenths, and he picked him back up again. He lost most of the time. He lost most of the time actually coming around the hairpin here. Just didn't and that much. But see, he carried the momentum. Last time he stopped halfway around the corner, and that was it. And now he's right back on the tail of the Italian world champion. So Scuderia Scampi Rosso, David Ongaro against Team HB Performer and Cole Ogden. Good last few corners there actually. And there he goes, coming down the hill. Ogden right behind him now as they climb back up past the media corner and up along the ridge. And overlapping the rear wheels in the air there, but they landed separately as they came down. Ogden there managed to keep the momentum around the corner. But again, that little drive, again, there's some really good drive on the Ongaro car. And we're looking now for Ogden from Ongaro. But Ogden, just how much far can you catch him up on him? So Ongaro leads. Ogden just behind by about 0.4 of a second. That time he was 10th fast. They're as close as they can get round the Thunder Rally hairpin, and then looking for a gap here. Oh, and they both lost a bit of drive in that one, but unfortunately, as often happens, if a guy in front of you makes a minor mistake, it can lead you into another mistake, and sometimes it's a far worse one. Canas has not been dropped. Neither has McBride, neither has Lutz, but it is a little breathing space. We get to lap 8 of 12. So they're getting very close towards the end now, and it's Ogden putting the pressure on. Ronnefeld's climbed to 7th, but that's not going to do a lot of good points overall. It'll be a long way in overall points behind Ongaro, has outslid there Ogden. Ogden had lost 0.8 of a second in that lap, half of it from recovering from someone else's accident, half of it, and then he's probably gained 3 or 4 tenths of it back just in those 2 corners. So the gap now is about half a second. As they drop down again, Ogden, brilliant that time. Do you see how much time he gained by just throwing it round those corners? He's now right back on the tail of the Italian. But we had a very uncharacteristic mistake from Ongaro in the first final. I think it's particularly unlikely to expect to happen twice in a row. And if a slap landing there has again cost a few tenths of a second to Ogden. Let's look how many years he's come offline. Just eked out slap landing, loses all the forward momentum. But he's still got a lap and a half. So he's got there's a lap and 3/4 to go on this one. You can see they are this close. Ongaro is probably driving, I would say now, the defensive line. But Ogden needs to find a way to make a move and make a clean move. Third place now is McBride, who's sneaked past the S-Works. And Lutz is also then right together now as they start the last lap. And the last lap they're going up the hill for the Thunder Alley hairpin. The lead is not, and he just nearly took him on the inside, but that was a good bit of drive by Ogden, mate, avoiding contact. He lost a couple of tenths there. It's not all over. It's not all over by any means as they run. Now it is. And Ogden, so let's get on to Ongaro, please, who's leading now. Coming down, unless he makes a even more uncharacteristic error in the next one corner, he's going to pick up a win. Now there's a little bit of a debate who's going to be second, because McBride is right behind Ogden now, and it's going to be a win for Ongaro. Brilliant win, under pressure again. It is Ogden just takes second, McBride takes third, Canas is fourth, and Lutz takes fifth. So another 12-lap pressure class, but this time no cracks were to be seen in Davide Ongaro. Ronnefeld came in 6th, Cavalieri 7th, and I will leave young Mr. James to tell you where everyone else turned up in this race.
Thank you, Nick. And as he makes his way to the interview area, let's take a look at the results one more time. Position number 1, David Ongaro. Position number 2, Cole Ogden. Carl McBride took position number 3. 4, Juan Carlos Canes, and Ryan Lutz taking position number 5. In number 6 was David Ronnefolk. 7, Ryan Cavalieri. 8, Evan Vale. Joseph Quagrain taking position number 9. Max Morton 10. 11 was Patrick Hoffer. And in last place in position 12 was Lee Martin. And we should have Nick in the interview area. Over to you, Nick.
And I'll just bring in Davide. Now, you must like gate starts now. You must think gates are the best thing ever.
Yeah, I saw many drivers make some mistakes, and I wait. And I was like second on the first corner, and I drive without a mistake. Cole was fast, but maybe less consistent than us. But yeah, we are happy than yesterday.
When you're leading like that, are you going 100%, or are you just taking it back a little bit?
Yeah, I think I need like the 10% more, because they can make like a mistake and they can go so fast. But we are trying to improve the car now, and we'll see in the third round.
Great stuff. Thank you, Davide. So Cole's taking a briefing from Adrian. Oh, was that a telling off from Adrian?
No, just a little advice for the future.
What financial advice, relationship advice, or what?
Not racing advice. You know, when you're following somebody of the talent level as Ongaro, you just got to be patient. Can't change your lines, stuff like that.
Disappointed or happy to come back from the bad run in the first heat?
No, I was happy. We made progress, made a couple small changes, and we know they work now, and we'll just go with that into the next one.
Thanks, Cole. And our final podium man, it's Kyle. Kyle, you're having a more ordinary day today. You've not been disqualified once yet, or banned, or anything.
Yeah, nothing funky going on today, thankfully. Yeah, my car was really good. I came fourth in that first round and third just then. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Just need to make a few more changes, get it a little bit more comfortable for the rough stuff, but yeah, we're looking good.
I mean, obviously the start is key. Is there anything you can do, or is it just luck?
Definitely a lot of luck involved, but I mean, I don't know. I've been going inside line, and it seems to be working out for me. Like, I started in the back, and I was right up there at the start. So, yeah, I don't know. A lot of luck, but also, yeah, just trying to stay away from the crashes.
Good stuff. Thank you, Kyle McBride. So that is your 1, 2, 3 for qualifying race 2. Qualifying race 3 is in about an hour or so, so about an hour and a half's time. We have some semi-practice and then the quarterfinals on the YouTube feed. But if you're on the Facebook feed, that'll be stopping soon. So come over to the YouTube feed, join the fun. But that's it for the qualifying round number 2 from RCGP round number 8 here at Thunder Alley in California. See you on the Facebook very soon.